Okay, so hello everyone and welcome. Thank you for joining us today. We're going to be taking a look at the content model visualizer in Kontent.ai. So today I'm joined by Daniel. Daniel, could you please introduce yourself?
Yeah, hello everyone. Thanks for having me, Jordan. My name is Daniel. I work as a developer advocate for Kontent.ai, and together with my colleagues from developer relations team, we are in charge of the open source stack regarding all tools, all open source, basically all open source tools for Kontent.ai, from SDKs to custom apps such as the one we'll be talking about today.
Yeah, we've had some exciting developments in custom apps recently, so I'm glad we can talk about this today. I'm Jordan Torpy. I'm a product marketing manager at Kontent.ai. So let's kick things off by just a quick definition of what is the model visualizer.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, in this case, the name pretty much hints to what it is. It's a tool that helps you visualize your content model. Specifically, it plots the various entities that together make up your content model, which in our case are in Kontent.ai are of course content types. Then we have taxonomies and optionally also content type snippets to help unify sets of elements that group together so as they don't not repeated that often in content types. So these three together make up the content model. And with the help of our model visualizer, you can plot all these entities as to see observe the relationships between them and how they relate to each other and what each entity consists of. So when it comes to content types, it's of course the individual elements that it consists of, their limitations, their other configuration. For taxonomies, there's of course the taxonomy terms, and snippets. Yeah, snippets are basically similar to content types. It shows the content content elements. Type elements that it consists of. So this all gets plotted in a automatically layouted visual graph, and helps you navigate through all your content model and see the relations and basically observe your content model.
And why would someone want to see their content model? Why?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I'm sure everyone who has ever worked with any headless content management system knows that one of the key benefits is the freedom it offers, right? Because it allows you to build your content model from scratch according to your specific requirements. But I'm going to borrow the quote from Eleanor Roosevelt that with freedom comes responsibility, right? And in this case, it's that the content model is crucial for future content operations. Like it needs to be solid. It needs to be well built so that so as to avoid future changes, because that gets you in trouble. And once you have a lot of content and then you want to make some changes to your content model, it's possible, and we also have a tool for that. But it's something that you'd ideally like to avoid. And the model visualizer can help you a great way, because in content, you have all the freedom you have to build the content types from scratch and build their individual relationships. But if you're not someone who's actually developing the content model, and you will have to resort to something like, let's say, drawing a graph of the content model yourself, keep that somewhere, then keep that updated. It's not so streamlined. So the model visualizer aims to help that, so that the whole content model with all the relationships is right in front of you and as a custom application and as a part of the Kontent.ai user interface. And that helps you a great matter to get an idea how your content model looks like, what you could improve, etc., etc.
Yeah, perfect. Who do you think would really benefit from this content model visualizer?
Mm-hmm. So like I said, basically the key persona that this would be targeted for are the people in charge of developing your content model, right? So content strategists and content developers in general who are in charge of creating the content model. but also the actual users. If you're a newcomer to a company that uses Content.ai, and you're supposed to work with various content types, you may want to get an idea what the content model looks like, how it relates to each other. So that's also someone who could benefit from that. And last but not least, it's also a great tool for our consultants, for our consulting team, who help our customers with managing their content model, and who now can explore the customer's content model and provide their view and input based on what they see, thanks to the tool.
Yeah. So we're talking about a visualizer. I think it's only fair that we actually see it. So maybe we could have a little demo of what it looks like and how it works.
Sounds good. Yeah, perfect. Let me show you.
So let's just briefly go into environment settings, custom apps, and this is where you actually register the deployed application. So once you have it deployed, just create new custom app and provide the host code URL here. No other JSON parameters or configuration is required. So let's go back to custom apps. I already have it prepared. The loader you've just seen can take longer depending on the complexity of your content model. And here we again have the default view. The default view shows you all of the content types in your content model and their relationships between them. So these lines correspond to relationships defined by through either linked items elements or rich text elements, which also can contain linked items. So if you set a limitation for a subset of content types that can be used either in a linked items element or rich text element, then these are used for creating the actual relationship graph. If you don't want to include the relationships defined in rich text elements, you can just uncheck this here, and you can see that now the graph changed a bit because the rich text elements are no longer taken into account. So let's just now look at some of the features that we have in the default view. You can include rich text as it doesn't bother us in the demo. So here you can see all of the content types that are visible on the canvas are also visible in this collapsible side panel. Once we click on some, then we can see it zooms in and we can expand it and we see what the individual content type consists of. We see here that the content type article consists of quite a lot of elements. Those little green dots here are hoverable and show you a content group to which each element belongs. If we open some other content type without content groups, you see that there's no dots at all. There's also other badges that signify different individual configuration for each element, such as if the element is required, how many of linked items it accepts, or what snippet it originates from. So all of this is available and more at hand when you expand the content type. What's more interesting is the isolation mode. So you can either isolate a single node if you want just to explore the elements it consists of, or you can use the more interesting feature, and that's the show related nodes. And this is great because it isolates only the content types that are directly or indirectly related to the content type that you want. So these are all the content types that are related to article. If I switch to, let's say, fact, we'll see that there's a different graph. Solution, it's also different. So this way you can isolate only a subset of content types that are related to each other, and which might be super helpful, especially in case your content model is quite large and complex. We can also use the expand all feature, which is great for exploring individual content types and what they consist of. So yeah, you can either collapse or expand all, and the graph automatically aligns itself and recalculate positions so as not to cover each other, so the individual types don't overlap. So this was the default view. Also, the features are available both from the side panel and from the nodes themselves. And there's also a convenient edit button for each entity that leads to the editing mode of respective entity. So let's go back to custom apps. We've already seen the default view. Let's now just have a look at the other two views that are provided. First is snippet view. So what this does is that it shows all snippets, those are on the left side, and content types they are assigned to. So we can see that, for example, snippet reference, which consists of these elements is used in navigation item, action, and also back. Similar to the snippet view works taxonomy view. As you can see, taxonomies are on the left side and individual content types are on the right side. And both in the taxonomy view and the snippet view, you only see the types that have some taxonomy or the snippet assigned. So the types that don't contain either are omitted. And once again, the side panel contains only the contextual data, so only what you see on the canvas. Here you see you can collapse both content types and taxonomies. And yeah, the functionality remains the same as in the default view. You can zoom individual types. If you have a lot of them, you can also use filtering. So this is all available from the side panel as well. And if you need more screen space, you can just collapse it. And that this way you can explore only the content model relationships. So I think this is it from the feature standpoint. There's also the configuration, but if you want to explore what can be configured for the model visualizer, then I suggest you go to the repository and look for the README and the configuration options. And of course, don't hesitate to provide your feedback if you encounter any issues or if you have suggestions for improvement.
Okay, so that was great. Really liked seeing that. Maybe we can get into some details though about the visualizer itself. So could you tell us how it was built? I know you said it's a custom app. Could you tell us a bit about that?
Yeah, sure. So custom apps are a recent addition to Kontent.ai. They are side to side with custom elements, but whereas custom elements really basically are as the name suggests, a custom element that you can place anything in, and it just stores store a value in it afterwards. Custom apps are really like applications that live in an iframe in the Kontent.ai interface, and there's an SDK and an API for that, so that anyone can really develop and include their custom application in content, be it some digital asset management or maybe some tools for e-commerce or the model visualizer. So yeah, the model visualizer is built on top of the custom apps API. And as for the actual technology used behind it, and that was the key factor during the initial phases to pick the right tool for the job. So it's built as a React application with the backbone being React Flow, which basically takes care of all pretty much everything you see, the whole canvas area plotting. That's all thanks to React Flow, really a great tool. And on top of that, we also used a layouting algorithm called Daggery that's responsible for automatically plotting the individual entities based on the relationships that you provided. So yeah, a React application, React Flow, some layouting algorithms on top, and to make things easy for users who want to, just get the visualizer and insert it in their environment and work with it right away. We provided one button to deployment to Netlify, so the actual API calls that are made to retrieve your content model are called from Netlify functions that query your project and get all the necessary data to build the actual graphs.
Cool. Was there anything sort of tricky when you were working on the model visualizer?
So I believe that's something I've already mentioned before. The trickiest part was probably picking the right tool, right? Because if you look at it, it's then you need some tool for actually like navigating through the canvas. So some graphing library. In this case, like I've said, I picked the React Flow. There were some other candidates, but in the end, I've chosen React Flow because it seemed the most well documented, and I really enjoyed working with it. So yeah, kudos to the React Flow team. And Also, probably the layouting algorithm. There are several. The Dagger is actually not actively developed anymore, but it was really quick, and that's what I strive for to to ensure that the user who interacts with the model visualizer gets instant response and isn't bothered with like some loading times, because the layouting algorithms are quite complex, and it can take a while if you have like a huge complex content model or something like that. So yeah.
Yeah, makes sense. Now, I know you work on a lot of open source tools. This model visualizer is also open source. Could you tell us about some of the benefits of it being open source? Is there anything you want to share about that?
Yeah, so the model visualizer was actually our first official custom application. So what we wanted was to ensure that the code, well, it's necessarily complex for what it does, but it also should provide some let's say that whenever if someone wants to develop their own custom application, they can use this the model visualizer to get an idea how the inner API works, and yeah, get start from that and observe how the how it's built. So the code is pretty well documented. There are a lot of comments to follow. So yeah, I think that's one of the key benefits of open source, that you always have something to build upon, and yeah, that's why we like our open source mindset.
Yep. Speaking of, can you tell us if there's anything coming up for open source or also for the model visualizer? Either one.
Yeah. So I mentioned the model visualizer is currently developed for Netlify deployment. We had some talks of maybe making it more universal, because some people or some customers may want to host it elsewhere. So right now they need to tailor the API layer slightly to accommodate for their respective environment where they want to host it. So that's one thing. We'll see how that goes. We have some other projects right now. If I can maybe give a hint or taste of what's coming, it's an MCP server that my colleague Jiří works on, and that should provide a great deal of the AI functionality that's so sought after in these days. So yeah, that's certainly something that you should be looking forward to.
Great. Yeah, excited. Now, for people who want to get started with this content model visualizer, where can they go? How do they get started with it?
Yeah, so the best as usual with open source tools, all of them are hosted in our organization GitHub. So just go to GitHub Kontent.ai and look for model visualizer, or just Google it, because it should be pretty much indexed by now. And we provided a pretty exhaustive README that goes through the individual functionality. Also, we wanted to make the tool configurable. So because the different content models may have different or more suitable layouting logic, that's actually selectable from the Dagger layouting library. Like, it allows you to select a sort of a sub algorithms to change things up a bit. So some of these settings can beneficially alter the outcome of the graphing tools. So that's also well documented. There's an extensive configuration, and there's of course the one button deployment to Netlify. So it's really just easy as deploying the tool, providing a management API key, because the visualizer works with management API. Then in this case, Netlify, I believe, doesn't automatically redeploy when you provide the environment variable. So just note that you should redeploy afterwards, and then you're all set. Just link the tool via the environment settings in Kontent.ai. They go to custom apps and just link the URL of the hosted visualizer. There's no further configuration required.
Yeah, great. And if you're watching this on YouTube, you can check the video description. We'll have a link to our GitHub there, and you can get the README there as well. So you should be all set to go. So please check out the model visualizer. Give us feedback if you have it. We'd be happy to hear any of your thoughts or takes on it. It'd be great. So thank you so much, Daniel, for taking this time with us today.
Thank you, Jordan. Thanks, everyone.
Right. Until next time.
Yeah. Until next time. Bye.